Hello and welcome to this new chapter, Tracks, Channels and Controls of Ableton Live 10. In this chapter I will show you the tracks, channels and their controls. We have two types of tracks, Midi tracks and audio tracks. In Midi tracks we can insert Midi clips and write our notes. And in audio tracks we can insert audio clips. And here we have our channels, the reverb, the delay, the return and the master. Here we have these buttons, which can open and close the controls. The R button can open and close the return channels. The S button can open and close the sends. With sends, we can send part of the sound to our channels A, B and C that correspond to reverb, delay and return. If I turn the dial A up, it sends the sound to the reverb. If I turn the dial B up, it sends the sound to the delay. And the dial C will send the sound to the return. The I/O buttons represent the inputs and outputs. In MIDI from and audio from, we need to select where our inputs are coming from. In audio tracks, in audio from, the signal can come from our microphone or from our audio interface if it is installed. And in MIDI tracks, in MIDI from, the signal can come from our computer keyboard or from our MIDI keyboard. And in MIDI to and audio to, we select where we send our outputs that could go to the master or to the audio interface if it is installed. If our MIDI keyboard is not here, we have to go to Preferences, MIDI, we look for it here, we select it and activate it. And we need to do the same with the audio interface. We have to go to Preferences, Audio, and we select the audio interface on Audio Input and Output Device. We will look at the monitor in Auto Off and the M button, the measure, in another chapter, in Auto Off, Record and Quantize. With this button D, the track delay, we can delay the track when it plays in milliseconds. Let's record a few claps on the audio track, and then with delay, let's do a public effect. So, I switch to the arrangement view, arm the track and record some claps. Press this red button here, and now we can work on our clip. We prepare the clip that we like. Copy it and paste it in Session View. We open the clip with double click. We select the loop we want. Right-click, select Crop Sample, press the loop and try it. Now we select the track and duplicate it 2 times with Ctrl D. So now we have 3 equal clips. If we play Scene 1, we will hear the 3 clips at the same time. But if we delete any of these clips, we will get more dynamic claps, generating a public effect. Now we could change some parameters. For example, to this first clip, I am going to turn up the volume and lower some semitones. I will also change the volume, selecting the envelope and selecting track volume. So now we have this red line here, and with this pen I could modify the volume line to generate some more realistic effects. We do the same with this second clip. I turn up the volume, I raise some semitones, and I modify the volume line. And we do the same with the third clip. And now we play this scene all together. And as you can see, the public effect is more realistic. And finally, we have this X button here, the crossfader, that can give priority to one track over another. In the track 1, I select A, and in the track 2, I select B. Now I press play, and if I move the crossfader to the left, we will only hear the track A. And if I move it to the right, we will only hear the track B. You can choose up to 7 different crossfader types. This could be really useful to play in live performances. By pressing this MIDI button, you can see that the crossfader can be mapped. So that means that it can be controlled by a remote MIDI keyboard. And this is all about tracks, channels, and controls. I hope you found this chapter interesting and useful. See you in the next one.